All right. One of the things I thought I would do for my Wednesday weekly update is a room reveal. Most of the time I'm speaking to you in the middle of the night, might be 2 in the morning. I'm in my bed, and so that's kind of how you see me. But I'm not always in my bed. I'm not always bedridden. And the one nice thing is not much has changed. Again, my name is Jennifer Engel. I've been on hospice for 8 months. And there was a time where I was living to die, or waiting to die. And then I got a switch. I went to the hospital. And when I came out, now I'm living until death. Yes, my body's still deteriorating. I'm fighting 3 things. Nausea, which actually I've gotten under control. Pain with morphine and massage, mostly. And then also eating right, as I've said a million times, and staying on top of my medications. And I would say my number one concern right now is more the breath, the breathing, which also ties into my eating, because if my food stays up here, you'll hear a lot more shortness of breath. Today I did really good following my schedule, so things are settling. You're always going to hear wheezing because I have, what do we call those? Nodes in my lungs, and the cancers in my sternum. It's amazing how much you need your sternum to talk and to sing. So you'll hear me get out of breath. It feels very, very tight. They have put me on steroids and nebulizers to try to help with that. So that's my number one thing I'm fighting right now, more is the wheezing. And so what I'll do is I'll do a room reveal. How do you prepare for at-home hospice? What are some things that maybe you should think about? And one of the things that hospice nurses and things have been telling me is that I'm actually kind of a rare patient where I'm really prepared. And I do contribute teaching, because I was a teacher for many years, to that success. Because I thought to myself, well, when I'm teaching, if I leave the classroom, I need someone in the classroom to tell the students what to do. And so if I'm leaving my body, I'm not able to control my body as much as I was able to. I need to set things up in place, my environment, and tell people what to do. So I'm just going to walk around my room really quickly, showing you little things that you might want to think about if you're headed toward home hospice. So the first thing is shorten your distances. This is the stairs I used to climb before my body started to deteriorate, and the bathroom that I used to use. You can see how many stairs that is. So now my room got moved downstairs, and you'll see there's only 4 stairs to navigate, and you want to have safety bars in place to make sure you don't slip and fall. Also, if you are a fall risk, it's good to have someone down at the bottom of the stairs watching you come down to, again, make sure you don't fall. Also, make sure you have other needed materials or assistive devices. I use 1 to 2 canes. My other one's down there as well. And just recently, planning for the future, I did finally get this little walker thing so that I can try to get out of the house a little bit more than I've been doing. And to also help me with that, I requested smaller oxygen tanks. I really haven't gotten out of the house very much recently, so maybe this will help. I also have a really nice recliner in my living room again, I've done shout outs to my work family who donated the money for that recliner. I have a butt pad now because, well, I lost my butt. I got no butt. So I just have a tailbone sticking out. So that little pad has a hole kind of for my tailbone so that I'm not sitting on it. The other thing, we bought walkie-talkies for the nighttime. So if I have an emergency, like I have thrown up in the middle of the night, I just walkie somebody and they come down and help me. And of course, wherever you are, just making sure that you have access to anything that you might need or want, like my medications, my water bottle, Kleenexes, my notebooks, a blanket, and a bucket just in case. And so I also shortened the distance to the bathroom. In the bathroom, we installed this shower chair. What I like about it is it has like a hole for your privates. You don't normally think about that. And my uncle installed this bar that I can hold on to and have access to things at the sitting level. And this is a magnetic shower clip, so I can just stand up, hose myself up, and clip it back up. I was keeping a lot of shampoos and things down here, and I'm still have my toothbrushes and stuff here where I don't have to bend over so far. But I was finding bending over really hurt and I couldn't do it very well. So instead, I moved it up into my medicine cabinet, and that's a lot easier for me to access now. And then yeah, just making sure you have all needed supplies for any emergency things that might happen. Messes, there we go, that's what I wanted to say. And just supplies within reach in general. Going around my room, I have all the cards that people have sent me posted up to kind of remind me of your prayers, your kindness, your good thoughts. But then I also have this black shelf that contains everything I need to do my morning routine. And people are going to have to start thinking about becoming incontinent. So just making sure you have all of your needed supplies. Again, I have more cleaning things. Since I fight nausea, I have a lot of these little bags that you can just puke into and throw out. And then I have all of my supplies ready to go. So these are the, they're called reusable chucks. You can put them on your bed. So if you accidentally have a accident, it'll go onto the chuck and not your sheet. Then these ones are called disposable chucks, where if you have to change, because maybe you have to move into diapers or something like that, you put this on first, on top of this, so you have even less mess. So we have everything kind of stored in bins. I've got gloves and wipes for myself and for my caregiver. And then I've got the diapers down there. Yes, I do have to wear them once in a while. There's different kinds. There's the big ones for the big messes, and I have some little ones down here for, you know, if you're just kind of accidentally urinating yourself. I don't have a bladder, I have an ostomy. So I have my ostomy supplies here as well. So just all needed supplies. The other thing that I have is my care plan. So I have a very, very detailed one that I've shown before that has emergency contacts, my insurance information, doctor's information, my top 9 things I want people to know about my end-of-life transition. And then these pages are basically if I go unconscious and I'm bedridden, what do I want you to do when? So this one is pretty detailed. I did have my care workers look at it, but then I hired, here I'm gonna flip the camera here for a second. But then we hired multiple caregivers. And so this big one can get kind of convoluted, but it's still good to have in case you have an emergency. So then I decided, since I have a couple caregivers, to create more of a checklist. So I have 4 pages here, and it's a lot more succinct. It just says my daily checklist, what I do at different times, and what people can do to help me. So my caregivers will actually pick this up and use it as a checklist as they're going around to help me. And then I keep it in a central location where my caregivers can find it. And I have it on just like a little hook here, so if they want to take it off and look at it and put it back, they can. In addition, I also have a caretaker schedule pasted up, so we know which caretaker is coming when. And I'm not going to show you at least the details. That little pink note, I can't do that, there we go, has all of the caretakers' phone numbers, so that we have access to that as well. Moving around the room, I do have an oxygen tank, so again, you want to make sure you have enough room for all your supplies. Believe it or not, I didn't know it, but hospice will cover the water to put into your oxygen tank. You probably won't need an IV pole, but I did actually buy an IV pole because I have to do enemas every day, so I decided to buy an IV pole. Those beautiful flowers were from one of my caretakers. They're still alive and going there, Jess. A little shout out. I do have like a shelf that has some things that I need later, but lots of like little shelf. And then hospice will provide this little desk thing like they have in hospitals, and so just making sure you have everything you need to be comfortable, your meds, whatever else, water, next to your bed. And obviously I have cords everywhere, so it's also a little charging station for my earbuds, my phone, thing like that. And you will be provided a hospital bed. I also have another butt cushion that I sleep on, and this does have a lot of, just like a hospital bed. A lot of times I will sleep elevated, sitting up a little bit. And then also if I go this way, I gotta kind of hobble. The foot of the bed can also raise too, and then that kind of provides a little alleviation for my tailbone, so you can make it as comfy as you need and want, which is really nice. Because with the breathing, I can't really lay down straight anymore, or on my left or my right side. And the hospital bed, I used to think it was uncomfortable. I've made it comfortable now. Oh, that's another thing. Let me show you. All right, so I'm peeling back the layers of my hospital bed. The only thing that the hospital bed will give you is this gray thing here, and that's it. And it's not comfortable, and it has ridges. So the first thing that we did is I took some old blankets, folded them up, and put them on top of that. Next, I got a memory foam pillow top to place on that. You are going to still want the mattress cover. You're going to want the sheet, and sometimes I still put down the reusable chuck, only because I did have a oh my one time and I don't want it again, so I just have that for safety underneath there. Have to take a break for a minute, catch my breath. Okay, you can see I significantly reduced my wardrobe So I just bought like a little hanging clothes rack. I have a little drawer down there with my socks and underwear. Over here I have another one with like my pants. The other thing that I've been thinking about is I'm gonna turn it around again for a minute. I am not fully bedridden yet. I get up and walk around and do little walks here and there and take big rests because my joints hurt and stuff when I walk around a lot. Anyway, the other thing that I've done with my wardrobe, let me show you, is think about the next stage if and when I become bedridden. So I found these cute little robes online. Amazon, I think I just googled women's robes. And one thing you're gonna notice is it just has a zipper in the front and that's it. So that if I become bedridden, people can still uncover me and zip me back up without any trouble. The other thing I have over here is I found myself getting bored sometimes. So I decided to, probably 300 is too many. But I decided to get a whole bunch of blank greeting cards. And I am writing them out to my family and friends. And that's something that I'm hoping that I can give to them and mail them when I'm gone. But it's also a nice quiet activity. I'm gonna flip this. That I can do if and when other people are asleep and I'm awake in the middle of the night. Find something to relieve the boredom. My top 3 is TV, social media, and writing cards and drawing. So I do draw within those cards as well. So just try to find something that can kind of keep you occupied so you don't get bored. This is obviously not a real bedroom. It is our half basement. So just get creative with whatever space will help you get comfortable, and we converted it into my bedroom. We have a hamper for dirty laundry, obviously. And a tip that I got from my caregivers is if you do use these reusable chucks, we do laundry when there's 2 of these in that laundry basket because they do absorb a lot and it takes a lot to dry. So that's how I know when to do my laundry, when I have 2 of these reusable chucks in there. Little tip. Like I said, this is our half-finished basement. Not half-finished, it is finished, but it's a half a basement. Gotta share it with the cat and the laundry. So again, just wherever you can find room for yourself, and you may have to share spaces with something and some people. The other thing my caretakers did is got me this whiteboard. They're used to looking at it. So on one side we have the needed supplies. So whenever we run out, they just add to it. And then I have like a general to-do. When they're here, what are some things that they can look at or be doing while I might be in the shower or nebulizing. And then I have specific things like that I want them to do like on Tuesdays and Fridays. So a little whiteboard with checklists is really nice. And then you'll notice behind that is my privacy screen. And so when I need privacy, I will put that up in front of the door here. And then I will text everyone in the house that this area has been closed off. And then I will text them again when it's been opened. Another good thing to have would be non-slip socks, so you're not at fall risk. Okay, so that's the room reveal. Hopefully that has helped someone if you are headed down the hospice journey road, or you know someone who is. At the beginning of this journey, when I knew nothing, I was adamant I was going to go into a nursing home because I thought things would be too complicated. But with the help of my hospice team and especially my caregivers that I've hired, I fell in love with home hospice, and maybe you will too.